Good morning. It is Wednesday, March, what is the date? 25th. So it's 9 months till Christmas. Wow. It is episode 8 of Fierce Live Connection. And I'm going to do something slightly different today. I'm going to focus the recording camera on a cool photo from a book I have. I'll do a different one every day. This way you're not just looking at this picture behind me, which you can't even really see it. Anyway, we're going to today do a meditation which specifically addresses physical pain. And then we're going to say what we're grateful for today. And then we are going to do some stretching, which I want to show you some stretches. And then we're going to take a quiz to see how curious are you. And then we'll see what's up from there. So it's 10:31. I'm going to get organized for the... Whoop, didn't need to show you that, but, taking it as it comes. Okay, that's the picture you're going to get to look at during the meditation. You'll get to see me again when it's a tight fit here to my chair. Okay, you're going to see me again once we are done with the meditation. So again, I'm alone, but I'm going to put this, I can see my screen better, so if somebody decides to jump in, okay, I'll be able to see that they're waiting. Oh, and there's somebody waiting. Okay, so we're getting ready to start the meditation, and then after this, we're going to again need to have a pencil or pen and paper to do another quiz. But I want to, so this meditation again is going to be focusing on physical pain. So I'd like you to make yourself comfortable in a seated position. And we're going to aim for a position where you're sitting upright, relaxed, and at ease. And take a few minutes to just feel the sensations of sitting. So try to put aside any thoughts about the past, any thoughts about the future. There's nothing you need to do right now. You have the rest of the day to let your thoughts run wild. Let yourself settle in to simply being relaxed here. Feel the steadiness of the contact with the chair or whatever you're sitting on. And feel any weight, heaviness, or pressure that may be accompanying that steadiness. And see if you can allow those feelings to ground your attention to your body. Now feel the breath coming into your awareness. Feel it coming in and out, wherever you notice it most. Whether that's through the nostrils, or in your chest area, or in your belly. So, physical pain is a part of life, and sometimes our bodies just experience pain. And if you notice how tight and wound up you can get from resisting the pain in your body, or how your mind can spin off into the future, imagining additional pain. We can contract the resistance or tighten, and it actually makes the pain worse when we do that.
Wait, let me contract, resist, or...
And if we start to worry or stress out about pain, it just adds another layer of suffering on top of it. So understand how to relate to the pain, and that can make all the difference. So meditation is a great way of dealing with pain. And in a way, pain is a great way to train yourself to meditate. So there are a variety of ways to work with pain. And the first is in balancing it with something less painful. So as you're sitting there, if there's anywhere in your body that you happen to notice that is not experiencing any pain, just become aware of that part of your body. It could be something pleasant or even just neutral. So think, how do your hands feel? Or how do your feet feel on the floor or inside of your shoes or socks? How do your eyes feel? How does your body feel making contact with whatever you're sitting on? So wherever you can find some place that does not have pain, just try to bring your attention to that area and start to notice in as much detail as you can the sensations of this area that you're not experiencing any pain. So notice things like temperature. So if you're focusing on your hands, do your hands feel warm? Do they feel cold? Do they feel neutral? If you're focusing on your feet, how do they feel temperature-wise? You might even notice like a throbbing, like you might notice your heartbeat in a certain area of your body. So the mind is drawn to pain, like it's a focal point. So one of the first ways to be mindful of pain is actually learning how to turn it around and step outside of the painful experience and turn it around to put your attention on a less painful area and give yourself a break. You can also let your attention rest on your breath. So another way to meditate on your pain is to think about your relationship with it. When we experience pain, there's a tendency to want to resist it or tighten. So if there's a painful place anywhere in your body, just notice, are you resisting it? And are you tightening anywhere else in your body as a reaction to it? So for instance, are you feeling any tension in your jaw or your shoulders or your face? Just scan through your body and see if there's anywhere that you notice that there's tension or tightness or resistance that has nothing to do with the painful area. It could also be around the painful area. But when we resist the pain, it becomes worse. It hurts more. So if you're noticing any resistance in any part of your body as a reaction to the pain, just become aware of that. Any tightening, stiffening, just bring your attention to that place that you're feeling the resistance. And just breathe and slightly start to feel that resistance relaxing and softening and easing. So becoming mindful of our relationship with our physical pain is a key way to meditate. And sometimes you can even notice the resistance or the tightening come and go. It'll tighten and then it'll back off. Okay, so now let's come back to the feeling of something neutral, like your breath or your body sitting in space. And another way that we can meditate as a way to help pain is to focus on the pain itself when we're not caught up in reacting to it. So when your mind is at ease, we can begin to explore the physical pain itself. And the way you can start to do that is by noticing, where does it end? So if you're experiencing pain in your knee, where on your leg or your knee do you start to notice that the pain isn't there? Does the pain have a shape or texture or thickness? What is this thing we call pain? What are the actual sensations? Is it temperature? Is it a hardness or a softness? Is it a tightness? Is it a feeling of sharp, stabbing, aching? Maybe like something's twisting. These sensations are very uncomfortable, but they're also just sensations. And as you notice them, just keep watching for any resistance somewhere else. It can even express itself as fear or anger. So just try to relax and breathe, being with the resistance until it settles. And you can always take a break from focusing like this. You can widen your attention to your whole body or just start focusing on your breath again. Doing this over time allows you to gain the ability to stay balanced and calm in the face of pain. And in meditation, that's sometimes called equanimity. It's a powerful quality that helps you kind of just go with it and not get beat up by it. So as this meditation comes to an end, let's just take a few more moments to return to the feeling of your body sitting in space and your breath. And when you're ready, you can let your eyes open. Take a few moments to look around the room and notice how you feel. Okay. So I personally haven't done too many of those, but I've read a lot about them. So I understand that they're very powerful, and I appreciate any feedback that you might have. I'm just going to get this one. Whoops. All right. Okay. Now I'm back with this. Okay. So, things that I'm grateful for today. I am grateful for, actually, I haven't thought about this yet. What am I I'm grateful for meditation, that's for sure. Grateful for the parts of my body that are not experiencing any pain. I was actually experiencing pain this past weekend in my hip because I have bursitis that comes and goes. And so I switched my exercise routine to kind of deal with that. And I'm grateful. I want to name 3 things. So I'm also grateful for the resources that I have to share with all of you. I liked that exercise we did with the quiz yesterday, so I want to do that again. But why don't you take a couple of moments now and just think about things that you might be grateful for today. It doesn't have to be 3. I just like to usually think of 3. But you can think of 1, or you can just think about it. You don't even have to come up with anything necessarily. I wanted to read parts of Hyperbole and a Half, but there are so many pictures that are great that I'm trying to figure out how I can show you the pictures and read it. So that hopefully is coming soon. I also want to do a quick stretching if I can. See if I can get myself. Okay. So you don't have to do this standing. I'm doing it standing just because where I'm sitting is very confined, but I'm going to move this chair out of the way. Okay. So this isn't going to be anything too major. Hopefully I don't knock anything over while I'm doing it. So I get a lot of stress in my psoas muscles and in my shoulders. So I am very, very aware to try to loosen those areas as much as possible. So the first one I'm just going to quickly show you is a shoulder release. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. If any of you have done yoga, you're aware of this. So you have one of your arms up at an angle, and you just, with the other hand, you breathe in, and as you exhale, just pull your shoulder further across your chest. So it's like above your breast area. Try to keep it as close to shoulder length as possible. So you want to kind of go horizontally across. I'm going to pat myself on the head while I'm here. And I'm going to pat myself on the back. And another way to do this one, this is a little more intense, is to actually wrap this arm around. And again, you want to breathe in and breathe out as you're really pushing it. And this is the most intense way to do it. Please don't do this if you're tight, because I don't want you to throw your back out. You can easily throw your back out doing stuff like this. And then I'm just going to balance myself out doing it on the other side. Okay, so I have my arm at a 90-degree angle, taking a deep breath in. And once you exhale, you can hold it there. You don't have to release it every time. You can release it a little bit. But what you want to do is you want to kind of ride the edge of where it feels like you're doing something and where it feels like if you did it more, you might hurt yourself. So I call that riding the edge. I learned that from Brian Kest, who is a great yoga instructor. And then I'm just going to do one more like this. And then the last one is this wrapping one, which is you hear other sounds in the house, it's because two of my dogs are sitting down at my feet. My husband is in my bedroom on a conference call, and my daughter is in her room doing her homework. All right, so we have a couple of minutes. So I just wanted to show you the psoas. Okay, how well I can show you. I'm just going to do it with one leg. So the psoas muscle one. So your psoas runs from the top of your quadricep up, actually through your body, and then it connects down here at your lower back. It's a huge muscle. It's very difficult to stretch it. So I'm just going to show you one of the simplest stretches that I know to deal with it. You just grab your foot. So I can show you that. So I don't break my neck doing that. Okay. So you want to tuck your pelvis. And what that means is if your back, like my back, I have scoliosis, so my back naturally wants to go like this. If you tuck your pelvis under and then grab, or tuck your pelvis under after you grab, and just breathe into that. I can so feel this. It's such a nice stretch. And it's where I think I hold most of my tension is in that muscle. I'm just going to do it on the other side to balance myself out. It feels so nice. There are other ways to release your psoas muscle that I can share with you, but to me, that's the easiest. Sometimes if I'm around just talking to people, I'll just start doing that. Okay, so I hope that was something new and interesting for you. Okay, so this quiz is called How Curious Are You? Again, it's from the Big Book of Personality Tests. And I liked this one. There are a lot in here that are about being anxious, and I don't really want to do those right now. So I'm just going to read the short introduction to this one. English literary wit Dr. Samuel Johnson once quipped, "Curiosity is a sign of a vigorous intellect. But curiosity indicates more than just an active and productive mind. It's a bona fide drive just as much as hunger or thirst. The curiosity drive is best seen in children who roam around a room, playpen, or playground in an endless exploration of their world. A contented individual in a novel setting will invariably explore her surroundings with more than just casual interest." Okay, so this is the quiz. How inquisitive are you? To find out, take the following quiz. So these are all true or false, and there are 10. So I'm just going to write numbers 1 through 10. I don't know why I do it like this, some anal problem I have. Doing 1 through 5 and then 6 through 10. Okay. All right. Question number 1. If my partner or friend is late, I'm usually interested in knowing the details of the delay. So true or false? When I come upon an accident, I usually ask bystanders several questions about what happened. True or false? If I happen to pass the open window of a private home, I would probably look in. True or false? I never open gifts that say, "Don't open till your birthday." True or false? I don't necessarily obey no trespassing signs. True or false? If someone ahead of me in line were wearing an outfit I liked, I would ask him or her where it was purchased. True or false? Question number 7. I would probably listen in on a phone conversation if my line were crossed with someone else's. True or false? Question 8. I sometimes open other people's letters and hold them up to the light to inspect their contents. True or false? This is starting to seem more like a quiz as if you're a criminal. Question number 9. As a rule, parents should know most everything their children are thinking and doing. True or false? And the last question, number 10. A good boss needs to know what his or her subordinates are doing at any given moment of the workday. True or false? Okay. All right, so this varies depending on what you answered. So look at, if you answered, you get a point for every one that I say here that you match to, if that makes sense. So question number 1, if you said true, you get a point for that. Question number 2, if you said true, you get a point for that. Question number 3, if you said true, you get a point for that. Question number 4, if you said false, you get a point for that. Question number 5, if you said true, you get a point for that. Question number 6, if you said true, you get a point for that. Question number 7, if you said true, you get a point for that. Question number 8, if you said true, you get a point for that. Question number 9, if you said true, you get a point for that. And the last question, number 10, if you said true, you get a point for that. Okay, so here are the results. A score of 9 to 10 points. You are highly curious and interested in the world around you. Be careful that you don't invade others' personal privacy in your quest to know everything that's going on. If you scored 5 to 8 points, you have an average degree of curiosity and like to know what's happening around you, but may not always feel strongly compelled to find out. If you scored 4 or less points, which I did, I scored 3, you have a low curiosity drive. This may be the result of a high degree of self-involvement and respect for others' privacy, or a general apathy towards what's happening. Well, I don't know how I feel about that quiz, but interesting. So I am not, according to this quiz, curious at all, which I would think the complete opposite. But I guess if I don't want to invade other people's privacy, I'm not curious. So check. And I'm just going to read their little explanation. Curiosity is an ever-present human drive. Taking this quiz is a prime example of the endless interest we have in our own personalities and how to improve them. We may not realize it, but when our curiosity is piqued, we build up a state of slight tension and discomfort. We relieve this tension by exploring what is unknown to us. Anything new or strikingly different appeals to our sense of curiosity. Modern art, with its abstract and unusual shapes, has this kind of particular appeal, which is probably why I'm not big into modern art. If you have a high score, you might ask yourself what's behind your need to know everything. Do you lack trust in others? On the other hand, if your curiosity drive is low, you may be withdrawn to the point of apathy or detachment, an equally undesirable trait you should strive to change. Try to increase your interactions with others by sharing some of your thoughts and feelings with them. Well, I definitely share my thoughts and feelings, so I'm not sure I agree with that, but I'm curious to know what you all think. It was fun, so I'm glad we did it. All right, so it is just about time to wrap up. This is the end of episode 8. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you here tomorrow on Fierce Live Connection. Stay fierce.